Hey everybody, it's John King with Summit Funding. And man, if there is one question I've been asked over and over again, it's John, when is inflation going to get under control? Let me back up a step and explain to you, first of all, what is inflation? Inflation is too many dollars chasing too few goods. Two parts of the equation: too many dollars, too few goods. That means that there is supply and demand that is part of this equation. The Federal Reserve printed money over the last 2 years. The stimulus that came out back when COVID hit was necessary to a certain point, but they printed a lot of money. They injected a lot of money into the economy. People weren't spending it at the time. So people have lots of money because they weren't able to go out to restaurants. They weren't really able to buy many things. And so they have money and they've been spending it on the few things they can buy. And that has created a lot of demand. So demand's been super, super strong. And the other side of it is supply has been low. Supply has been low because COVID has shut down manufacturing. So there's been fewer goods produced, whether you're talking about overseas and in China and all the shutdowns over there, or you're talking locally. The fact is there are fewer goods being produced. So you have supply is low. Shipping is also another reason why supply is low. They just can't get the goods from there to here. So we've got low supply and high demand. Now, the Federal Reserve is increasing the Fed funds rate. That drives the prime rate. It drives the rate on your credit cards. It drives the rate on your home equity line of credit. Most importantly, it drives the interest rates that businesses pay on super big loans they take out to expand. So businesses have been able to expand recently because they're getting an influx of money from the federal government, the Paycheck Protection Program providing millions of dollars to businesses. They've had money to burn, getting literally free money from the government. Well, now the government's raising interest rates, and a company might say, you know what? I was going to spend $100 million to build a new factory, but now that that rate went up by 3%, the numbers don't make sense anymore. I'm not going to build that new factory. That's the goal of the government. That's what the Federal Reserve is trying to encourage, is slowing down growth, because that will decrease demand. People don't want to buy anything when their credit card rates have gone up, and companies don't want to build and expand because their cost of borrowing money has gone up. But that's only half of the equation. The other half of the equation is supply. If we don't fix the shipping issues, if we don't fix the supply chain and just literally the shutdowns right now, China is shutting down even more because of COVID, we're not going to be out of the woods as quickly as we would like. Now, there are some signs showing that supplies are getting better, but honestly, we're looking at inflation getting worse before it gets better. I think we're going to see in the next couple of months, inflation numbers look like they're improving, but I think in the fall, they're going to get worse again. And I think that there's a lot of factors behind that I don't need to get into. Happy to share. If you have any questions, you can give me a call about it. But the fact of the matter is, I foresee a tightening, continuing through the end of this year. What does that mean to you? It means that we're going to see the economy start slowing down, and we're likely to hit a recession between the end of this year and the middle of next year. Now, recession is a super, super scary word, and everybody says, oh my gosh, I'm afraid of a recession because it means my housing price is going to drop. It really doesn't. There's only one recession in which housing prices dropped, and that was back in 2007 to 2009. That recession was caused by housing. So really, cause and effect. Which one caused the other? Housing caused the recession. The recessions don't cause housing prices to drop. And a recession brings lower interest rates. But most importantly, people have a bunch of equity right now. People have built up we have more equity in homes right now than we've ever had. More people have paid off free and clear homes. More people have a significant amount of equity in their home. Even if prices dropped a little bit, we're not going to hit a foreclosure crisis where nobody can afford to pay for their home and they have no equity to sell it as a traditional sale. So the bottom line is, it's going to be a rocky year. Inflation is going to look like it's getting better, and then I think it's going to get a little bit worse as we hit the end of this year. But as long as you maintain your job, which obviously for some people, that's not going to happen. Unemployment is going to go up in a recession, and some people are going to lose their jobs. Those people may have to sell their homes, but it's not going to be a distressed sale, because those people have the ability to sell their home and get the equity out of the home. Unless they purchased literally this year and they lost their job next year, there may not be as much growth. But the truth is, buying this year is still a great idea because I expect housing prices to stay strong. I did a video that I'll link in here that talks about demand and why I don't think housing prices are going to drop. And it has to do with something called household formations. So bottom line is a long explanation to a simple statement. What is it going to take for inflation to come back down? It's going to take time. The Fed is finally on the right path, and we're going to see a lot of volatility between now and then. The stock market's going to have a lot of volatility. Interest rates are going to have a lot of volatility. It's going to be a rough year when it comes to volatility. But the fact is, we're going to have a strong outcome on the other side of this, and everything is going to be really, really good once we get some stability. It's a question of what's going to happen in between now and then. If you have any questions about this or anything else, give me a holler. Hope you have an amazing day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.